Buen día, mis cristales. I hope you're having a wonderful day in this existence. I surely am. I'm super grateful. So, cristales, I wanted to just keep you abreast on a few things, right? As you can tell, I have a new space. I have a new desk that I'm able to conduct readings on, right? So, I want you to know I'm still gonna do beach readings. It is the Crystal CAY'S shore, of course. So we're gonna hold true to that vision. But of course, I'm not always at the beach. So when I'm not, I would love to conduct my readings here. Forgive me. You guys will start to learn my personality a little deeper. And believe me, I do so much with my hands. So forgive me in advance if it's distracting. It's just how I read, how I talk, how I focus. So guys, now that I'm done fidgeting with all of this, I do want to just let you guys know that whoever gets this message, you absolutely should hear it out, because this message is for you. This message is going to be on lessons learned, or lessons that you are currently learning at the time that you click on this reading and listen to it. So we have 3 piles, as you can see, right? The first pile here, this is deck 1, group 1. You can see here there's a carnelian, okay? Carnelian energy on this deck. Next we have deck 2, or pile 2, same thing. We have here aquamarine. So this pile is resonating with aquamarine, or not just resonating, but attracting the lessons and the energy of aquamarine. This here is pile 3. Pile 3 is imbued by the energy of chrysocolla? No, guys, this isn't chrysocolla. This is right here. But if you give me a second, I'll remember the name. That's so crazy. So that's a message for you guys, whoever resonates with pile 3. I'll get more into it, but there's something about searching for who you are, or your name, or appreciating your name, or knowing that your name has power. It's something like that, but we'll get into that later. So very interesting. But without further ado, this is a gate. I don't know why the name kept slipping me. That's very significant, guys. I don't know. So look, míralo. If you guys want to just give yourself a moment, meditate on these piles, please do that. You're gonna click on the one that you resonate with the most. Use your intuition to pick the deck, okay? With that being said, if you don't even know which one to pick and you're just not sure, pick the one that you feel most gravitated to in terms of the crystal, in terms of the deck. You may need to close your eyes and meditate on it, whatever you have to do. If you don't know what to pick, you could always do a randomized number counter, or you could close your eyes and spin around a couple times if you can. And when you open your eyes, point at the deck. I don't know, guys. I'm just being silly, but whatever the case, once you pick your group or your pile, go ahead into the description box, click that below, and click that hyperlink that takes you to your group. I feel like I'm talking quite a bit. Let me slow it down, and I'll see you in your pile. All right. So we have pile 1. Here's the carnelian. We're gonna actually place it right there on lessons learned. So let's see what cards we have for you. Okay, group 1, no time for games. Okay. You're learning at this time, or you're taking in the lesson, or needing to take in the lesson, that there's no time for inauthenticity. I know this says no time for games, and maybe you might see that as no playtime. Well, yes and no. This is more so referring to authenticity. This is saying, do not play yourself. Do not go through this human experience with a gilded approach. You have to get to your true self. That's what makes life beautiful. That's what makes life flow. That's what makes abundance attract to you. Abundance of beautiful things, meaningful things, powerful things that bring you fulfillment, you know? That is the purpose of life for us, for you, for this group. In particular, you're being told that if you're not learning this lesson, you're in the midst of learning this lesson, and that is beautiful. You're just recognizing that every day is to be cherished. Everything that you go through in this life is for a reason, but how you get through these things and how you get the best out of life is to recognize what these things did for you. Once you chose yourself, once you leveled up, once you ventured further into your true destiny, you're recognizing you don't have forever. Your soul is forever, but you don't have forever. Yeah. So with that being said, group 1, I already understand that you're coming into alignment with your heart chakra, which is super, super important, right? And you've got 3 here. Well, 21, 3 in numerology, right? The reduction. Well, I can see that you've united different parts of yourself, and it's allowed you to step into this deeper authenticity within yourself. So you had battles of the mind in the past, okay? You didn't always see yourself as this dashing queen of pentacles that we see here. Notice how, well, I noticed how you have this undeniable gaze. You have very beautiful eyes, group 1. Okay? Like, it's just to a point where things want to flock to you. Abundance, money, wealth, security and safety. Other creatures, whether it be animals or whether it be humans or whether it be multidimensional beings, ethereal beings, you have such an attraction to you. And that's because you finally got around to not denying yourself what is rightfully yours. Your destiny, your joy, your contentment, your fulfillment. These are things that maybe once upon a time you didn't value because you know, you tried your best to be a good person, but there were certain things, certain truths about yourself that you were not willing to face. Your habits, your traumas, etc. There was dissociation involved at some point with how you dealt with things. But it's okay, because now I can see that you're learning the lesson if you've not already learned it. And in that case, congratulations, kudos to you. But of course, for those who are just in the midst of learning this lesson, group 1, you have stepped into a place where it just clicks. It just clicked. We'll get to this later, if you guys can see that. Sneak this in its purest form. Of course. Well, we're not going to give that the time of day yet. Let me go over here and see. Oh, we love to see that. Oh, yes, baby. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put this one out, and then we're going to save this one for later. So I'm going to sit it to the side, okay, y'all? So look, 2 little beautiful advices for y'all. And I'd say this would incorporate into what you're learning at this time, right? It says, consider your intentions. Before making a decision, take some time to recognize your true intentions and thoughts behind them. By doing so, it'll give you the capacity to make decisions more mindfully rather than operating in autopilot. Cool. So essentially, don't allow yourself to sink into trauma responses, okay? You're not. That's what I'm saying with this level of self-assurance. Guys, ooh. So something with the throat chakra, right? I can see that here. You, group 1, are meant to have such a beautiful mark on the world with the way you communicate, with the way you express yourself. So it's no confusion why in the past you've had a complication with your self-worth, with your confidence. It was because that your throat and your communication, the way you speak, I'm feeling Venusian beauty here too. Those who are astrology followers, you know, there's certain signs that are influenced by a planet or vice versa. Please excuse me. Yeah, so for astrology followers, of course, Venusian energy is connected to the Taurus and the Libra. So very naturally feminine beauty, or just easy on the eyes, I heard. Look, we're not going to get too much in the looks. You know you're beautiful. But actually that wraps into my explanation perfectly, guys, that once upon a time you did not. You did not trust you were beautiful. You did not know you were beautiful. You couldn't even possibly see how beautiful you actually were because you were dealing with some traumas, past life and childhood, or childhood that stemmed also from your past life. These traumas were very debilitating to your self-respect and to your personality, even just simply to your self-imagery. But it's not to say that you weren't magnificent. That's quite contrary to my point. You were, and other people could see that, but you had a very different path. And I keep gravitating to this one simply for the fact of the way that there's such a flock to this individual. If people wouldn't tell you how dope you was, how raw you was, how amazing you were, how important you were to them, how unique they found you to be, then the animals would. I see that you guys must have been animal lovers, or even if you aren't particularly, animals may have found their way attracted to you because of your energy and your spirit. And no matter what phase of life you were in, that was apparent, at least at any time that you were to your purest self. Now, I will say, you've gotten into a lesson. I waited to come to her, this beautiful queen that is a side of you, a reflection of you, group one. She has a different layer to her story than she does. And when I say she, I mean different parts of you. And while, please excuse me if there are men watching this is 100% make sense for you, but it just has to be in the sense of feminine energy. No matter how you identify, just please understand that when I say, I'll work on correcting myself just to keep it general, but when I'm saying she, I'm referring to she as in divine feminine, and when I say he, I'm referring to he as in divine masculine. So I hope you guys understand that, but you know, I'm gonna keep it pushing. So you guys see this individual, very intentional. This is someone who abundance can't help but run towards because of how free-flowing you are. You have a high enough vibration. You operate in a way that allows things to pass through. You're a beautiful conduit of energy. You're very good at it, to the point where money wants to come to you. Success wants to come to you. Beauty wants to come to you. Leadership, opportunities want to come to you. You're a natural born leader. And I can see that here too. But once again, these are different sides of you, different lessons you're learning right now. And it wraps into one beautiful person. That's the word I keep hearing and feeling. Beautiful. Yes, guys, I didn't even recognize Queen of Cups, right? So let's get right into it. Storyteller, you have a way with your words. I knew it. I'm telling you. Your throat chakra means so much to you as to how you garner your success. I really urge you guys to go check your astrology chart. There's free calculators online. There's a way for you even to find it on apps. If there's astrology apps, just plug in your data and see what you could learn about yourself through your astrology. chart, okay, your birth chart. But the reason why I bring that up is because with all of this energy on the board, I get the feel that you guys will see a connection with your throat chakra and say, I'm hearing Taurus, which Taurus is, of course, known as a powerhouse for material success. And I see that on you guys. But of course, you had to break out of certain shells to be able to access all this. You were always these things. But your ability to use your beauty and your charisma or your charming nature in a way that is not perverse, in a way that is not what is that word, everybody? Tell me, group one, what's that word? That's crazy that spirit let it get away from me. But it's okay. I'm being told to just keep at it. So yeah, guys, all I have to say is that your imagination is everything, because based on who you are, you're so intuitive, you're so deeply emotional, you're so tapped in with yourself at this point where you are able to allow creation to come out of you. I know that in the past, it was not that easy. It was not that easy to express your creativity, but now you're in a place where you can, or at least within learning this lesson, you're in a place where it's starting to click. It's clicking, and it's right here in front of our faces. Habits are breaking, new habits are forming, better habits, habits where you don't talk down to yourself, habits where you just trust that you're gonna get what you damn well just need to receive. I didn't even know how to say it, but it's something you're damn well owed, and you know that, and you're not being cocky about it. I can tell. But you just know what's yours, and you're not going to let anything or anyone take that from you. That's what this look is. This is, I have a softness to me, but I'm focused. This is, I can be your best friend or your worst nightmare, because you ain't stopping none of this. I love that. I love that for you. You are incredible. I get the sense that when people sneak this on you, and I'm glad we could finally come back to it, but just for a little moment to say, when people sneak this on you, group one, it's bona fide hater. Like, I can't, it's hating. Like, why would someone have to be so critical of you unless they are someone who wants to push you further? Of course, with the concept of transmutation that I know you guys are using in your life, that's the only way that you would have transformed into who you are now, or who you're becoming, is because you understand transmutation. You understand taking a energy of a lower vibration and putting that energy into a place where it can be better used for the acceleration of you. When people sneak diss you, they're just upset because you turn the mirror to them. You reflect back to them their nastiness, and it makes them upset. But you're going to keep doing you. You are so, so beautiful. I wanted to tell you guys one more little token of advice from the spirit guides, which is to call on your awareness. Sometimes holding on to a challenge or a memory that proves to be a challenge for you, or a negative experience, it can weigh us down. It can limit our potential. And there's so much truth in that if you allow it to be. You control the narrative, okay? All the money you want in the world, you can have it. All the love that you desire in the world, you can have it. You just have to take those negative feelings, those negative experiences, cherish them for what they are to be, for the purpose they had, and then release them or transmute them for the function of gasoline. Use it as a propellant, a fuel to propel you into your authentic self, the best possible high quality existence you could imagine. You feel me? Woo, what a person you are, what a spirit you are, what a beautiful entity you are. Group 1, I'm so grateful to have read for you. You have everything ahead of you, especially because you're in this phase of life that you're realizing you don't have to be an unbalanced person. You can continue to work at it to make sure that no matter how bad life gets, you have the fortitude and the strength and the knowing to proceed. Yeah, I am losing it, okay? I forgot to give your Lemurian Oracle message. Your message from the Lemurians. So let's see. Okay. Essentially, this is about communication, co-creation. Very much spot on with your personality, your path, your route, and your skills, your gifts. We normally think of information as something that can be written or spoken, but if something is multidimensional, it's almost impossible to share it with words. This is very true because there are so many thoughts and feelings and emotions and simply energetic vibrations that are communicated through non-verbal, non-written, non-physical expressions, I should say, such as telepathy. So despite whatever the media may want to tell us, we absolutely do have these psychological gifts. I'm sure if you're listening to this message, you may or may not already know that, right? But for those who don't really know, telepathy is not just something, nor are all the other gifts and these superhero powers that we come up with. It all comes from somewhere. And of course, they are skills. They're gifts, but they're skills. So if you don't utilize them, you're at a loss there, You're essentially not nurturing them. You're not nurturing the gifts to become stronger. So with all of that to be said, it still comes back to communication. I kid you not. You guys may not necessarily want to have to speak all the time. Maybe your throat chakra was a little too open and you said more than you needed to, or you were begged that out of you by the type of people you were experiencing. However, now I see that you're learning the lesson that you speak when you want to, when it best serves you. I won't even say just when you want to, because sometimes we want to say things and it's not appropriate to be said, right? So still, you just speak in a way that best serves you, but doesn't necessarily harm anyone else in any ill-mannered way, in any malintended way. It's just that whereas in the past, maybe people definitely did, I could see it here, that individuals did talk to you a certain way to bring a side out of you that they didn't really deserve. It took a lot to say that, because I just want to speak with sureness and communicate what the guides want me to relay to you that you've come from a hard way. You've come from a long way. From a very draining past to a very beautiful, excuse me guys, that's my baby Ronin. Guys, I don't want to get sidetracked. Yes, that's my baby Ronin. He's a Togo Argentino, and he's the best. So moving right along, back to your message, guys. I just want to tell you, group 1, your words are powerful. The things you say, the things you emote, the things you manifest, the things that come out of your imagination and out of your thought process is reputable. It's beautiful to experience. And you're getting more into that person for extended periods of time. You're stepping into this layer of authenticity for yourself more these days, and that's why your abundance is so great. And if you've been feeling like it isn't, you just continue to do you and hold on to the fact that you're gonna receive everything that is rightfully yours. Your spiritual inheritances, your expansion of your chakra, or balancing of your chakras, to expand that energetic flow through you, between you and the universe and the collective consciousness. You're stepping more into that, and it shows. You're very poised. Even when you're in your awkward energy, it's like you still got it. I love that for you, group 1. That is everything, and I'm gonna kick it over to group 2. Please do like, comments, whatever you feel your heart is guiding you to do, so we can get this message out to other group 1 crystales. Gotta wrap it up there. I will see you in the next video. Ciao. Okay, about to. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We have the aquamarine crystal here. You can see it. This beautiful blue color. I'd say there's some level of softness or just naturally stunning that you are. You're a breath of fresh air or a swallow of water on a thirsty day for many people. Many people feel that way about you. That's beautiful. Now, if you felt drawn to this pile in particular, or it just felt right for you to pick on it, lovely. That means these messages are for you. I really do get a nice vibe off of you, and I want to know more about you, how to, and what lessons you are learning or have learned. For some of you, yes, it's graduation time. Congratulations, you've already shown yourself that you can trust yourself on the lessons that are coming through. I'm gonna dig deeper into it because I know it's a lot. I can already feel on your spirit that you've gone through plenty, but you still have a charm about yourself. If you, is charm the word I want to use? I would say more like just an essence to you that is very unforgettable. Let's see. If you guys couldn't tell, oh, let me shift this over, guys. I'm not even in the center. I don't think. I'm not looking at the camera. Okay. Let me see if I move that over, okay? So let's put these down. We're gonna get to those. But from what I see here, you're learning to you are living in hell on earth, and you just took it upon yourselves to not to not allow. Okay, let me explain the situation. Someone here was facing such an opposition, such a villain, an enemy, a force, a demonic force that wanted to strip you of your life source. I know that's a lot, right? But this stemmed from a lack of honesty with oneself, with, I heard, just a bully sensation, like getting, ooh, it's hard for me to talk about this, guys, because it's so much heavy energy. Like, there's a ton of sadness, a ton of frustration, a ton of disappointment, and lack of fun, I've heard. But you know, group 2, this is heavy. Like, I should have said trigger warning. I don't know. Like, you guys have been through some very difficult things. I definitely see abuse here. I mean, I brought up the bully sensation. Essentially just being put in a position after position to go down a path or a route. But I did say pout. Someone could be pouting about the decisions they made. Okay. Feeling, in a sense, regretful, but more so just overwhelmed by the way a situation went. But you found conviction in this, and that's the lesson you're learning. They're learning that you're not a victim. And you're learning that you can be you can be permeable. Okay? There's ways to maintain boundaries. There's ways to maintain your boundaries to demonstrate that you must have respect for yourself foremost, but then of course from other entities, other energies. If you're not necessarily vibing with someone, then you're not lying to yourself about that. You're standing true on that. But now you're getting into a place where you can release the emotions that feel so heavy and feel so stuck on you when it comes to situations like this. But that has a lot to do with some karmic debt that you had been facing. You know, there's things you had to endure as your karma. And it's unfortunate that it, I mean, it just is what it is. Spirit is calling me to just express that. It is what it is. That's how things went. But in your situation now, this lets me know what you were going through, how difficult this was, how draining this felt, off the strength of a blindness that was starting to form from how numb, how skull numbing this pain was. And I'm talking about a pain that it may shift away for a short time, but it'll come back. This was a very heavy spirit, very low vibration. And you realize, like, I know that I feel these ways. I know that I struggle, but I don't want to be like this anymore. Like, that's just, you stood on that to the point where you said, I'm going to stop fighting with myself. I'm going to stop depleting myself. I love that. Guys, I get the sense that you, group 2, you're very, it's so interesting. You have a very serious energy over you because you've been through life's ringer. And I understand, like, the dimensions of experiences that you've run into, that you've chased after, that you've, you know, experienced, either way it goes. But I recognize that you do really have a softer edge to you. You just have to allow yourself, your spirit guides want you to know that if you allow yourself to step into your your safe spaces for longer periods of time, you will find that there's a polarization that occurs that draws you to better experiences. I'm not saying being comfortable, like lazy, you know, because even here, this isn't particularly lazy. The Five of Pentacles, it's specifically expressing a lack, a feeling of lack, a feeling of loss, a feeling of otherness, of being stuck on the outside, of not having equal opportunities with others, not being seen as an equal player in any sort of matrix or predicament, you know. But I was called to explain that for someone. But you see here, there's a part of you that is finding ways to say what you mean and to stand on a belief or a perspective, but not in such a way that you can't be other sides of yourself. There's this overkill that you're working on. This overkill where you may say XYZ is my personality. I am a very logical person. I want to engage in things that I understand. I want clear communication, not mind games. Or if you want to play mind games, meaning, am I someone who's going to entertain them? No. I can, but I'm not going to. because I'm doing what I can to stand on this reputation of mine, or this portion of my personality. We're gonna check really quick, guys. Oh, oh my goodness. Spirit is saying, don't draw this out. Okay, just give it to him straight. What I'm saying is, you have these different aspects of your personality, and they may seem paradoxical. Paradoxical? Yeah, it may seem like a paradox between these two personalities. You have a very logical, stern side to you, clear with your words, but many steps ahead in your what's the word? I want to say in your planning, but it's not just planning. It's intellectual capability, the ability to have psychological powers at play for your talent, for your use, and your benefit, such as like, this is something that naturally comes to you. But on the other hand, you have this very free-flowing feminine side to you. I'm not saying that there's no femininity in the Queen of Swords energy and the sternness that lies within that. But what I am saying is there's just a different drum being beaten to with this side of your personality. These different sides to you, and there's could be more sides. I heard multiple sides, multiple personalities, ways of being within one's self is very much a hop and a step and a gallop in this part of your personality versus your more Saturn-like, paternal, dominant, cutthroat energy. Just trying to blend these two together, right? I wanted to sigh right then. I really did. So a lot of you, group 2, you feel like I know I have these different aspects to myself, to my personality, due to everything you've gone through, or due to just the fact that I heard you come from a family that they have very strong cultural effects. Like, the cultures that you come from may be starkly different, or just intensely proud. It's pretty much it's an unspoken thing at times. It's just how a culture operates. Of course, I'm hearing Afro. I'm also hearing Caribbean. I'm hearing European, but let's see what kind. I heard Russian and Dutch. Yeah, I heard Scottish for sure. I heard Irish. So just really, absolutely no shade on any cultures here. I'm just naming off the top of my head some that have a particular burst in pride. Not to say that any other cultures don't, of course. I'm just saying so between different sides of your family, or different parts of your community, or the group around you, especially within your bloodline, there's different energies that may have just had a fiery clash coming together. So the way that both sides of the family, or different sides of the family, battle for the opportunity, or for the honor and responsibility of being expressed in the genes. It's a very interesting concept, because what it means is, for you, group 2, your family has confirmation from the plane passing by. Your family just has really powerful dynamics. You guys come from a very strong blood, a multitude of them, multitude of ancestors. But within that, there was a sort of a battle for the spotlight as far as these cultures or these souls, the spirit of these cultures and of these genetics coming out, battling to come out in the next generation. For example, somebody here who has Filipino ancestry, but maybe also has Nigerian ancestry, but then maybe also has Ecuadorian ancestry. So if you guys resonate with any of these, please do drop it below in the comments with your flag. I would love to see who's tapped in. But yes, I'm hearing, and this is just a blind example that Spirit gave me, but let's say you have all these different cultures in your blood. Certain ones, they're all battling to make sure that those genes are expressed. I'm not a scientist. Well, I am, but not in a certified way, guys. So I'm not really trying to claim that, you know, just this is not for anyone to take what I'm saying for pure gold. Okay, I'm just saying what I'm called to read. I don't know why it was so tough to get that out, but guys, mis cristales. Yeah. So a lesson that you're learning, pile 2, is that though your bloodline, your ancestors have given you quite a deal to work out in generational curses to be broken, curses to be broken, there's clearly a light at the end of that tunnel. You just have to, you're learning. I'm not going to say what you have to do, but I'll say the guides are suggesting to me that you're learning how to create a stability in your life that is going to allow you to open up yourself into more receiving energy, into a more sensual version of yourself, a carefree, just carefree, essentially. I want to write. Oh, I said I want to write. So guys, you definitely need to be writing at this time. You need to use your skills, bump them up, make it interesting. Whatever you got to do to make yourself want to do it, because it's a part of your skill set and you have metaphysical abilities, you have extra powers and extra affinity with writing. Ooh, yeah, no freaking way, like Avi. Okay. Obviously, you guys have a gift. You have a gift. I will say the low vibrational situations that you've been dealing with, that you're healing from and shifting away from because of your conviction, those things will resolve themselves on their own. It's really telling me that you just have to stay true to the game. Like, you know what it means to be free. You're not going to keep trapping yourself in toxic cycles. You're not going to keep giving your energy to things that siphon you down and vampire you away and haunt you. No. As I told you, there was an entity that was very, very fixated on devouring your light by constraining you, by abusing you into a position of confinement, not believing in yourself, to keep you on a low vibration, to be a feeding ground. And because you had this type of, I would say, curse or spirit following you, or entity attached to you, it showed up a lot in your situations, in your experiences, as spell work, you know, spirit hopping from bodies to bodies into different individuals who would allow that spirit to channel them to serve as a vehicle to send spell work your way. I can understand why you feel alone and feel haunted by the things you've experienced and you've indulged in, but you're learning from that. You guys have a gift for writing, a gift with your hands. I see it. Beautiful hands. Hands that can do quite a bit as far as healing goes, as far as commanding and influencing. Your hands are special. So, some of you guys, you're definitely learning a lesson or in the midst of learning a lesson about playing your role. Is allowing yourself to have such a self-awareness of your situation that you can be who you need to be, no matter how different, no matter how unique, no matter how condescending it may seem. It isn't when you're acting in authenticity. You could be sweet as pie one moment and then flip a switch and become somebody's worst nightmare, particularly because you are playing the role that is being called out of you in a particular time, in this time, as it calls, as it stands. So there is a versatility about you, and now you're getting to a point where you can see it's not to be pitted against each other. It's to be capable of being a channeler, a conduit of emotion, so that you can understand what these spirits are within yourself from a true place, so that they can work in tandem. Beware of Skinwalker. So yeah, okay, great. You guys already get the message. The message has been received. This has been a long little reading, guys. I'm going to keep checking mis cristales. Let me see the timestamp. Okay, 20 minutes. Okay, mis cristales. So be aware of the Skinwalker. What this is letting me know is that you have this energy that was attached to your past, to you through your past, is still trying to access you. But I can see that you're not going to make that mistake as long as you stay tapped in. You are finding that living in these different layers of yourself without criticizing them is giving you a whole different level of freedom. Like, seriously. You know how beautiful that is? That's excellent. And I know it to be true because, bam. Oh, look at that. You are stunning. You're one with yourself. I can't get over it, guys. You're learning the lesson. Look at this. Can't you tell just how much more in tune you are with yourself? How bright your light shines. It shines through your head, through your third eye. It shines through the universe. It shines upon every surface that it encounters because you allowed it. So let me tell you guys, the Lemurians, the multi-dimensional, higher incarnated, fifth dimension incarnated beings, they have a message for you. They said, step through, step in, and step up all those dreams or projects you've been resisting. Now is the time to start, even if it's just one small element of the bigger picture. No more excuses. Today, not tomorrow. Whatever you have been putting off, the universe is asking you, nudging you, encouraging you to make it happen. You may feel a little outside your comfort zone, and that's okay. That's where the magic is. So keep that in mind. You know, some of you may need to get into acting so you can just express all these different versions of yourself, but in a way that you're not criticizing yourself. Just give yourself the opportunity to do it. All judgments off. Okay? And from there you'll see that things just free up for you, and then you rid these blockages of these low vibrations. Like I'm telling you, all this goes away. You'd be free at last. You guys see the value in this, and that's what you're working towards. I am so proud of you. Accomplished. You are choosing yourself. I love it. Okay, so your third eye, right between the eyes, okay? Such an important chakra. It allows you to just understand deeper, okay? It allows you to have an inner knowing and to have a dialogue with self, to really internalize these deeper truths, these ultimate authentic vibrations, right? And it's so beautiful because you can tune into this wisdom at will. You don't have to. Let me just put it this way, group 2, you're the only one who could ever possibly stall yourself from being connected with your third eye. Okay? And that's because the moment you're ready, the moment you wish to indulge and seek the truth and seek wisdom, it approaches you. The universe will give you trials and give you circumstances. They're gifts from the universe to demonstrate that that you're serious about seeking this truth and being real. When you open your third eye, the wisdom that you gain from that is so of an incredible magnitude. Is what I'm trying to say. Mis cristales. This wisdom is just ancient. All in all, this card is telling you, all in all, the Lemurians are just saying, be mindful, listen to your nudges, listen to that voice inside of you that is begging you to give it a valid, just to give it validity, that it exists, what it is, the purpose that it serves, and then release it when it's no longer appropriate for you to be in that role. Life is a journey, group 2, and I know you understand that. It's definitely clear. Continue to be courageous to yourself. If that's not something that you're doing, that's absolutely the lesson that you are urged to learn here, okay? But you're beautiful, and I can't get over this. Male, female, it doesn't matter. This is very beautiful energy. This is very in tune, and this is just a shell. This is really a part of you, but it only comes out when it needs to. And for those who don't have, if you don't have that level of comfortability just yet, you will. You definitely will. So group 2, I will give you one little token of advice from your higher self and your spirit guides, okay? This is to have gratitude. You're being called to incorporate that into your day-to-day exercises, your day-to-day practice, like your lifestyle. Create a gratitude ritual by just running through your mind or running out loud all the things that you're grateful for, no matter how small. The smaller, the better. For example, if you had a good laugh, even a chuckle inside your mind that was pure and brought you back to your inner child, or a nicer moment, a higher vibration rather, then honor that and express your gratitude for that so you can have more of it, so that you can show that you're in this receiving mode to receive more of those types of moments with those types of feelings. As you recognize and show gratitude for everything in your life, for anything in your life, it communicates to the universe that you are ready for more. What a beautiful soul you have. What an interesting journey you have. What a heartfelt journey you have, group 2. It was a pleasure for reading for you. Please do go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, so you can get more content on these psychic messages, tarot included, and my beautiful crystal knowledge as well. So guys, I'll be jumping over to mis cristales. I'm going to jump over to group 3, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, hey there, group 3. So the crystal you guys have is agate. So it has some, I want to call them calcifications. Yeah, so they have some deposits or calcifications around them, but if you guys are looking at that brown there, that is the agate. This lets me know that you all, group 3, you all are thinkers. You guys are quite drawn to things that make you feel smart, confirmation, things that make you feel smart, like you're using your brain power. The epitome of an intellectual. Yeah, dark. Yeah. Ooh, group 3, hold on. I like this energy. Okay. There's something, oh my goodness. There's so much depth to you. Like, rich depth. Like, very much giving energy of the void to the nth degree. You know the dark night of the soul like the back of your hand, I'm hearing. Ooh. We're going to get to this later, guys. So I'm going to flip that. We're going to talk about that later. This, let me lay out. And then I'm going to do one here, one there. Cartography. So you guys have a lot of cards in your deck. This one will do last. Very beautiful. Okay. Well, I won't say last. Forgive me, guys. So this is... I'm going to work my way around to doing a neater message. When I'm doing... I'll explain this in another video for everybody. But group 3, it won't always be this messy. That's what I'm trying to say. Or maybe if it is, you know, we'll fix it as we go. But right now, this is enough. This is enough. So... So clearly, wow. Clearly, you've gotten to a point where you are just letting go of things that are hindering you. I mean, you've been through karmic cycle time after time after time. And I'm getting for different ones. I'm also getting you are indeed a time traveler. You've lived in multiple centuries. You are so interesting. I get the sense that you're an earth-based soul. For those who don't know what that really could mean, it's essentially someone who, or a soul, not just a someone, but a soul that has reincarnated into the earth multiple times and has gone through the human experience so much, but has not quite figured out enough of a flow with the entire human experience. And there's something that you just weren't getting in your previous lives that you would then urge yourself to be reincarnated so that you can actually learn those lessons and get to a place where you're comfortable with not reincarnating anymore because you feel you've learned all the lessons you've needed to learn. So because of that, It gives you an interesting little edge. It's the mystery that is comprised of everything you've seen and felt and experienced in the human form. You're recognizing at this point that there's always going to be more experience, more experiences, more versions of yourself, more details, more space to cover. There's always going to be more. So within that, you're allowing yourself to dial back, not drive yourself insane. Yeah, I please forgive me. Trigger warning. I don't diagnose, you know. But I'm saying, I can understand how you may have felt on the inside. The way you've had to find yourself out of the darkness time again, and time again, and time again. So you've learned that it would serve you better to treat yourself well within your experiences and to not wear your worries and stress. Interesting. I'm seeing that you are very persuasive. You're finding ways to use your charm and your finesse to grow your business or to grow a business. Yay for you. Check your cartography, astrocartography. This is, I'm not sure how to explain it completely, but I know that it will let you know of some locations that would be very beneficial to move you along your path in your evolution, places where you should be so that you can learn things about your past, learn things about yourself, your true self, your past lives, any soulmate connections, all of that. It's just places you can see where, based on coordinates and who you are, like when you were born, all that good stuff. It will tell you information that is worth knowing, because if you know where you're meant to be, places that your heart gravitates you to, then you will get more out of life, because you will be in the places that you're divinely destined to be. Yeah. So let's dig into this, guys. I'm telling you, you got power on you. Like, I can just feel the intelligence pulsating off of your auric field. Whew. It's the look in your eyes. You've come from a lot, but you never stopped having a focus. You never gave up on your focus. You're learning that now, if you have, that no, it's better for me to lock in with myself. I can see that. Okay. Yeah, I would say that group 3, there was just a lot of instances that you were put in a predicament, but also putting yourself in predicaments because you weren't functioning on things that were meant to be in your life. Let me explain that a little deeper. This is like you taking a job that is useless to you because you don't like being there. It doesn't align with you. Whatever you're giving to this position, you're giving far too much. And I get the sense that people didn't respect you because you didn't love your life. You did not love your life. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental way at all. I'm recognizing that you went through this experience. And for those who didn't, of course, don't make it fit. But sensing that. Well, guys, okay. Mis Crystales, something very interesting. So when I was expressing that about you, I took off my rings. And that was... the guides were telling me there was some sort of interruption, feeling betrayed by someone you really cared about, or maybe trying to take control of a situation that was far too out of control. Not enough boundaries in the situations you were involved in. But I'm only bringing this up because it matters. These are the hard times. All of this put together are just a multitude of tough situations, time after time after time. You've been around this globe many times. You are greatly reincarnated, like greatly, like many, many times. So you've seen so much, and it's brought a lot of misfortune in your experiences, but you're detoxing from that headspace. You're finding ways to see the beauty. See, before there were not. I spoke on that, guys. I promise you, I didn't even look here, but I see that, yeah, there were times where you were quite the giver, and then other times where you felt you just couldn't be, that you needed to have quite a hefty control, maybe even OCD. I don't diagnose, but just hints of that, you know. But let's see. So the Lemurians have a message for you. I'm going to read it for you. The Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous. Yeah, I was getting that from here. I was definitely getting that from you, Pow 3. That you have masculine and feminine energy to you so deep because of how it's blended in. How you pull on your masculine to... it's just, no matter how you incarnate, male, female, intersex, etc., you still find a way to give off a very masculine edge. And I mean, even when you're feminine and drop dead gorgeous in that way, it's still a masculine edge to you. And people like it because it's a level of focus in that go-getter energy. But also, there's a sense, I almost say a sense of nuttiness. You know, no shade, beauties. I'm just telling you. So, for the message of the Lemurians, there is a perfect balance when you can work in tandem and blend the masculine energy and the divine feminine energy, especially as it condenses down in our physical forms. If you do want to engage more into your feminine energy, then of course you must... What a pause. So some of you feel a little weary or struck about how to get into your feminine energy, or if you do, for how long to stay in it. This is what I was preparing to tell you anyway. If you want to engage more in this feminine energy, at the truth of who you are, you're being honest with yourself, and you say, yes, I do want to work in more of my feminine energy just so I can be balanced. That's what it's for. And in order to do this, you do need to be receptive. You need to practice receptivity, gracious acceptance, trust, flow, surrender. Yes, just... and being grateful too. Expressing your gratitude so that more things can come in. Some of you guys may be resonating with group 2. If you have not watched group 2, excuse me, throat chakra attack. So some of you guys are connected to group 2. So click over there, listen to that one, see if there's any messages that line up for you. I get the sense that not everybody in group 3 and group 2 are the same, but just that there is a crossover, of course. So all in all, guys, just blend your energy. Just allow it to come through that way. Some of the ways that you're going to be allowing yourself to work more cohesively, energetically, knowing your balances of masculine and feminine. Your guides are asking you to express your gratitude. Of course, we just touched on it, and I don't want to be a run-on sentence, but look, when someone pays you a compliment, just say thank you. No matter if you agree, no matter if you feel it, even if it's shadiness, whatever it is, just say thank you. That is going to be your way of transmuting that energy if it was negative, or consuming it gracefully, graciously, if it was genuine in the sense of love. And even if it was a little hate in there, that's still a form of love that you can transmute and make it work for you. So yeah, a simple thank you simply acknowledges the person who gave you that compliment, whatever it was, and it's acknowledging them. So it leaves a ripple effect in them, not only when the compliments are genuine to make that person feel good and feel, just keeping on that high vibration, cycling. But even with someone who was disingenuine, it still ripples in their spirit, in their knowledge, in their memory banks, in their subconscious, if not their memory banks, that you were of a higher standard to stand on giving them a positive vibration, even when they chose to give you a low one. That's significant for somebody, in group 3 here. But all in all, when you show those acknowledgments and you give out those thank yous and you receive with grace the energy, and you keep it pimping and you keep it objective, you feel me? It sets the universe a course on the right track more than what you may or may not think it does. It all matters. All of our decisions and interactions matter. So don't lose sight of that. Your spirit team wants you to know that your social health, your social aspect of life, your self-care really does matter. It's very important. We are social creatures, even when we thrive in solitude for our ascension, for our processing of things, for our understanding. But still, being social is that other half to us. It balances us as a race. I will say, we have to nurture our social needs. That's basically what this is saying. So of course, clearly you guys are learning how to stay in touch with people you truly care about, or get into the groove of building these lifelong memories with people that you care about, even if it's with strangers, but you're picking and choosing what kind of environments you're putting yourself in, so that this is a positive somatic system releasing experience for you, for you to be able to depend on other beings for a positive energy transfer and a social interaction. We all need it. We all deserve it. Well, those who deserve it, deserve it. I find that, I was called to just look at this again. Like, you are so magnetic. You're so powerful. And I can see that you collect your memories and your experiences as well-organized pieces of power in your own proverbial library, like a psychological library that just has all this information stored up, all of these secrets, all of these explanations, all of these ways of existence, ways to be. You have this locked deep within you because of the experiences you have collected in your many lifetimes. So you're learning how to step deeper into the true you. Like the you that it's not just stepping into a you. This is stepping back from what isn't you and watching the real you, comprised of all this incredible information. All of it. I feel excited to say that. I mean, wow. It's like you guys are the historians, the librarians, the gatekeepers, the secret keepers. Very enlightened. in particular ways. But then I understand that your experience on the earth so many times has worn a path of thought into you that makes it difficult for you to feel like you've accomplished it all. And quite literally, you haven't. You're on this journey, and that's the beauty of it. You guys are incredible, very interesting personalities. I am so grateful for you to tap into this message with me today. We thank your spirit team, beautiful beings of the highest white lights of divine devotion. Whew. With that being said, mis cristales, group 3, grupo 3, please do like this video and comment. Let me know how you felt about this reading, that you resonated with. You know, I want to hear it. Drop it in the comments. If you were group 1, 2, or 3, that would let me get a sense of who you actually are. I was so thrilled to learn about each and every one of you. If you made it here to the end of this video, thank you so much. You have so much patience. We appreciate you. We, your spirit guides, and I have read for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and we've given you what we've been able to recognize about your lessons. So please do share your story with me if you're brave enough. Please, this is a safe space. We do not tolerate that foo-foo here. We're all here on this journey to grow and elevate and nurture this connected consciousness, this collective consciousness. So with that being said, everybody, I'm not going to get on the soapbox. I'm just so thankful, so grateful to have read for you. I've learned so much about you guys, and my heart is moved that you allow me access to see these depths of your personality. I am going to leave it there, mis cristales, but please, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.